Retail traders losing their life savings. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heiser here, and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. I have my stein of coffee. I thought we'd have a look at a few articles discussing just retail traders and some of the very risky positions they're making, losing their entire life savings. Now we'll just start by jumping over to this article from Market Watch. And in it they discuss an Italian trader that lost his entire life savings on one insanely risky position. Now, I have to admit, I am one of these people that enjoys hearing these stories, just some of the insane risks that people take. And of course, a bit of schadenfreude, watching someone crash and burn is just crazy. And the website or the group of Redditors that he's talking about in this article, Wall Street Bets, is just an example of insane trading that people do. If you want to get some horror stories to scare people about trading, you should look at that. And some of the things these young idiots are doing is just crazy. They're risking it all, for potentially getting big. But it also ties into, well, the fact that the market is shooting up now. The Fed in the States, somewhat here in Australia, are starting to generate money out of thin air. And where does it all flow? A whole lot of it flows into the market. But if you look at the US, which, isn't 5 of the largest companies now, a significant amount of their market. So it's just crazy over there. So let's have a look at this example. So this year's been a real grind for Luckin Coffee. So they're 56.96% up for investors. At one point, Lone Capital held $367 million in stock to lead all hedge funds covered by Inside Monkey. DSAM Partners had $146 million worth. Melbourne Capital, Renaissance Tech, and Thyburn Capital were also bullish on the company, according to Yahoo Finance. I mean, okay, I guess maybe. Did it have a market that it was getting into? Looks like it was expanding into the, Chinese potential for coffee. Big market there. Big market. Chinese version of Starbucks. Could be. But one retail investor with a PG-13 Reddit name took a particular grievous hit. Yes, Stop F Forever, who claimed to be a 28-year-old Italian, shared his brutal market mistake with the bunch on Wall Street Bets. And don't take financial advice from Wall Street Bets, but if you want to hear some interesting stories, go and have a look. He apparently went all in on Luckin and lost his entire life savings in the process. Now I'm broke AF, he wrote, posting this screenshot of the carnage. Down 95.25%. I mean, this isn't investing, guys. This is gambling. This is just gambling using this. It literally is Wall Street Bets. Yeah, they're betting. They're completely betting, going all in. All in. 95% down. Wow. So he's lost 224,000 euros. So he's still got 11,000 euros back. I'm sure he could jump right back in like that. That's insane. It's not as bad as some of them that have leveraged and sold options and got into an insane loop of getting just hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of leverage there and lost, gone 200,000 negative. There's some insane stories on Wall Street Bets, guys. The top response fixed the general theme of the unforgiving, risk-embracing Reddit group. You still have over 12k left. Come back tomorrow and finish the job. Well, yeah, he's still not gone. When pressed by the mob as to why he would sink all the cash into such an obvious sketchy position back in January, Stop F Forever, who says he still runs 2 businesses that should allow him to recoup the losses within a few years, did his best to explain. It was before the pandemic, lockdown, and fraud, he said. Nobody knew back then. It went from 17 to 51 in 2 months, from November to Jan. Could have just kept going instead of exploding. Well, see, he should have got in January then. In November then, and got out in January. After getting hammered overnight, he shared the expensive lesson he learned. I'm going to just invest in ETFs, gold and bonds for the rest of my hopefully long but quite useless life, he said. Well, he's obviously down on his luck and not feeling too good for himself, but this could be a valuable lesson he could learn. For what it's worth, his luck in position enjoyed a double-digit gain in Wednesday's session, following the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 0.04. S&P index was down to 0.33. Nasdaq Composite was down 0.69. So, I mean, there's one rather dramatic example. But another thing that is happening in the markets now is retail investors are jumping in. People are seeing these drastic falls, and I mean, they're not betting against the Fed, and they're jumping in on some companies which might be a bit of a concern. And one of them is what happened to Hertz. Retail investor frenzy to purchase the bankrupt Hertz stock. So they're jumping in to buy a bankrupt company. Because I guess, you don't need to make any money now. Making profits for losers. Making losses. It feels like a Dilbert book, a Dilbert comic. It appears the drama surrounding car rental company Hertz Global Holdings is far from over, and you should probably grab some popcorn before you continue reading. Well, I've got my stein of coffee, and let's take a shot. Hertz has come under some serious trouble amid the pandemic, which ultimately wiped out the entirety of the travel industry. As a result, Hertz missed substantial lease payments back in April and was ultimately unable to make a forbearance agreement with its lenders. Now the company has no other choice but to file for bankruptcy. In the meantime, the US federal government has been happily purchasing corporate bond ETFs, some of which hold Hertz bonds. Thus, the Fed is inadvertently a stakeholder in Hertz bankruptcy process. But wait, there's more. According to Robin Track, which analyzes stock purchasing activity on Robinhood, Hertz was the second most popular stock on Wednesday, and this was last month, when retail investors flocked to buy the bankrupt company's stock. As a result, Hertz's recently worth of stock increased by nearly 168%, reaching a price of $1.49 and then closing at $1.31. Maybe the Fed stimulus checks have started a fire in investors' pockets, or there is a full moon to blame, but this is utter madness. Well, the market is utter madness. Have a look here. The Robinhood holders of Hertz. And Robinhood, if you're not familiar, it's an online trading platform with no commissions. You don't have to pay any commissions. Too bad we don't have commission-free trading here in Australia. It'd be pretty good. But a lot of the horror stories from Wall Street bets come from Robinhood. So, I mean, I guess if you bought here, but honestly, people buying here will be closing out shorts, wouldn't they? That's why being able to short the market is a very important thing, because then you'll even have buyers down at the depressed times. There'll be people coming back in to close out their shorts. That's why you need it. That's why it's always worrying when they kill those type of things or put a hold on them. But have a look here at just the number of holders on Robinhood. So how many retail investors, small fry people, normal people are jumping in, and all the big boys are getting out. And now here's the grand final. All while retail investors are going mad purchasing a bankrupt company's stock, billionaire investor Carl Icahn, who was Hertz's biggest shareholder, is dumping his shares right into their open arms. So you've got the rich literally selling their rubbish to the poor. Well, it's people's stupid greed, isn't it? Psychologically thinking, oh wow, that's a bargain, jumping in. But then again, we are living in a clown world now. So there you go, guys. Some interesting things that are happening in the market. What have you invested in? Are you riding the stock back up, or are you betting against the Fed? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and you'd like to support the content we create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and KuCoin. You can buy a merch from Heiser Says, support us using Gold Pass or PayPal. Thanks everyone. I'll see you next time.